Whoa, here we go. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. Look at it, Cyberpunk, Hitman, Horizon. Scissor reel. What? What is this? I saw Chocobo. Titan! Shiva. Okay. Definitely Final Fantasy. Puppy! It's a very Demon Souls look. Marlboro. So is this like a Final Fantasy 15 spin-off? That's Dragoon. Oh my gosh. Is it Bahamut? Oh no, that's Ifrit. Whoa! There it is! Yay! Final Fantasy 16! It still looks a little Final Fantasy 15-ish to me, but that is so amazing. Oh, man. Crazy. Oh my gosh, crazy. That was a strong start to the PlayStation event. All right. Very good. Oh, there's more. I'm getting ahead of myself. There's more. Miles! Yay! Okay, hold on. I'm going to try something here. Is it better if I turn on the lights? I don't know if it is or not. Okay. No, I don't think that looks better. That makes it look super washed out. I wonder if I can move this a little bit. Okay, it's better. Okay, so we're watching Spider-Man. This has to be a launch title. If this isn't a launch title, that would be ridiculous. I love that name, Roxxon. Roxxon. Are we getting gameplay? Are we gonna get gameplay? Okay. Tally from Mass Effect! What? Why is Tally in here? Tally is like Tally from Mass Effect. Oh, be careful. Don't drop that. Okay, good. You guys can hear me. Just want to make sure. I didn't want to be talking into the void. Oh no! Oh, that did not go according to Keikaku. Oh, look at that. Nice. What? Okay, that is super dope. Okay, L1, R1. I'm going to remember this trick. Oh my god, this looks so hype. Go Miles. What? Nice! Oh my god, I just pulled a Lilith from Borderlands and went all invisible. I love it. Phase walk. God, I love the music. Everything about this is rad and so stylish. Oh, that's not good. That's actually very bad. Oh, that's actually very bad. I don't like that. No, no, no. Whoa. The art direction is wild. Whoa. I wouldn't thank him just yet. This is not over. Oh my god. Rad. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Are you guys watching this live on the PlayStation blog? This is wild. So I couldn't figure out how to like picture in picture so you can actually see the stream that I'm watching. But maybe next time. I should have called this a watch along. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Are they gonna make it? Be greater, win. Holiday 2020. That doesn't tell me anything. Is it a launch title or no? Is it a launch title or no? I have to know these things. Okay, Warner Brothers. Avalanche. Oh, is this a Harry Potter game? Oh no, it is. Very awkward timing considering all of the controversy surrounding the author of this series. Yikes. If I were Warner Brothers, I would try to get as far away from that as possible because it is not good. Oh, hi, Mick. You missed Final Fantasy 16 getting announced. And also, we got to see gameplay for the new Spider-Man. So now we're watching the new Harry Potter game, and I was saying how awkward the timing of this game is, considering that the author is in a whole bunch of trouble for some pretty terrible takes. So we will see what happens with this game. Can you separate the art from the artist? That is the thing going on here. I mean, it looks like a very pretty game. It looks definitely better than the last time we saw it, which looked a little rough around the edges. Or we saw the leaked images, and those looked pretty rough, but it must have been like pre-alpha. So Final Fantasy 16 is officially announced. We got to see a whole bunch of gameplay and story for it. At first, I wasn't sure if it was Final Fantasy 14, like a new thing for Final Fantasy 14, or if it was like a spin-off of Final Fantasy 15. It kind of feels a little bit like we didn't step too far from Final Fantasy 15. And interestingly enough, I didn't see a party. I only saw one person in your party, almost like a straight action RPG along the lines of like Assassin's Creed. So I'm very curious to know what's going to happen with that. But it exists, and I'm very like excited for it. So we'll see that Final Fantasy 16 is a thing that exists. So, all right. Obviously, this is just featuring all the games that are coming out for PlayStation 5. Nothing yet on the release date, the launch date, or which titles are launch titles. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know if there's a distribution issue with Sony. I don't know if they're waiting on something. I guess we'll find out.
One of our goals as developers is to bring the game world to life unlike anything you've ever experienced, and the PlayStation 5 is making that happen. With the power of the new console, we've been able to significantly enhance the overall experience. From what you see in the world, how it feels in your hands, to what you hear around you. With Black Ops Cold War, you'll be transferred.
Oh, Black Ops. Okay. No lies. I'm not a huge fan of Black Ops. I don't really care about Black Ops. I'm happy for people that like Black Ops, but you're not going to see me freak out too much about this. All right. I predict we will see a little more of Horizon. I think we will see more of Demon Souls remaster, Ratchet and Clank, maybe Elden Ring. Okay, this is Black Ops though. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, I would duck if I were you, dude. I mean, the graphics look impressive. I like the lighting and shadow. Yeah, I wonder if I wonder if they'll wait for Demon Souls and Elden Ring, though, for Tokyo Game Show, which is literally right around the corner. I feel like they're going to have to share some of these things. Also, Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. Oh, boo. Boo. Boo shooting innocent people. Boo. All right. Terminate? What the? Yikes. Are they going to make it? Are they going to make it? Are they going to make it? They're like 60 meters away. Up 45 meters away. Yikes. Am I excited for Madden with guns? Hi, Terrence. That's funny. Sure, why not? I'm still trying to. I'm still on like the very beginning of this live stream where they showed Final Fantasy 16. I'm trying to process that. It is a reality. Oh my gosh. Okay. Great. This thing. All right.
We hope you enjoyed that sneak peek at the campaign for Black Ops Cold War. There are many more twists and turns along the way as you begin to unravel the truth, and we can't wait for you
Dun 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 dun. He has that tone in his voice. Can't wait for you to see it. It's gonna be action packed.
And an all-new awesome zombies experience. Today,
Of course, there's a zombie experience in everything now. Even Ghost of Tsushima is gonna have it. It's crazy.
Starting this Friday, PlayStation players will be able to play the multiplayer alpha exclusively on PlayStation 4. And for those of you that are watching at home on your PS4, you can preload the experience starting tomorrow. We can't wait to see you online Friday and through the weekend. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Okay, I will. Thank you, random person. Just in time for Black Friday and gravy. No kidding. Right. What's coming up next? What's coming up next? Sorry, if I'm looking back and forth, I have two monitors going, trying to keep track of everything. Don't mind me.
Chris, what the hell?
Bake them away, toys. Capcom? Okay, I didn't expect Capcom. Wait! What is this? What is... Oh, is this like Silent Hill or... Not Silent Hill, Oh, help. Oh, Resident Evil, thank you. I kept wanting to say Silent Hill, and I was like, no?
Greeted them with a dark, cold silence. The bush is empty. Yet determined to find the berries, the rascal broke free of Mother's grasp and vanished into the trees.
I recognize his voice actress, but I can't think who it is.
Cries faded fast as the girl ran on, over vine, under branch, and into the forest deep. It's just a local tale.
All they call it tail, and the subtitles is spelled T-A-I-L. Village? Oh, there you go. For a second, I was like, it is Resident Evil, right? Okay, that's really clever. That's really clever. This game looks like it'll give me nightmares.
If it's just window shop away.
Oh my god. I know a lot of people who are going to be freaking out about this right now. I don't know what this is. Oh, Deathloop.
You want out of a time loop. You gotta learn how it works. Black Reef is a puzzle, and each visionaries of different piece. Here's Eagle.
I am a respected scientist.
I've done so many loops, I've learned to run circles around them.
Ugh.
Hey, over here! I'm coming for you!
Ugh.
I've tried taking my targets out one by one more than I can remember, but there's never enough time. I go after one, another lives. Because right now, half an island away, a different visionary is throwing his nightly cannibal masquerade. Alexis Dorsey.
Everybody shut up! This is my jam.
Ego is a big fan, yet somehow he never makes it to the party. Something keeps him home.
Joel, you there, buddy?
Here's the invite to the party. And here's why Ego blew it off. He made some kind of scientific breakthrough that morning.
I did it! I did it, it works!
That he makes everything. Unless I get there first.
Yeah, definitely does look interesting.
No experiment. No breakthrough. No reason for Igor not to drink his disappointment with Alexis. Now I got a shot at killing them both at the same time. In the same loop.
Hey, Joel! Time to hunt me! Joel, I'm talking about you, baby! I'm not playing!
Targets on my list. Every one of them with grand plans for eternal life. To break the loop, I gotta break the rules. The clock's ticking.
And you just ran out of time. You keep forgetting, Colt. I'm not like those other idiots. Only got one name on my list. Yours.
Whoa. That's trippy. So it's a PlayStation console exclusive. All right. That was kind of wild. I'm still waiting for like a launch date and price. That would be great. Sort of figure out what I want to do. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to get a PlayStation 5 anyway. Why am I lying? Here's more Capcom. This also does not look like Dragon's Dogma 2.
If our positions were switched, would our fates be different? Would I have your life?
Wait. Is this Devil May Cry?
Or a demon?
It's Devil May Cry! Oh, special edition. Okay. You know, it might be my chance to finally play this game. I never actually got around to it. Whoa. These games have always been super stylish. I will say that much. Yes, this is very Devil May Cry. I love that. That was very arcadey. Like, you boot up the game at the arcade and it's just like, Devil May Cry. Oh, Oddworld. Okay, that's interesting, whatever that balloon thing is.
Did those fugitive morons burn down their own hideout?
It sounds idiotic, but that's exactly what it looks like.
Bad guamas for burning down my farm.
I like the animation style.
Hi, I'm Lauren Land, creative director of Oddworld Soulstorm. We're excited to bring you an all-new exclusive trailer from the game. Here, our unlikely hero, Abe, finds himself fresh off the back of freeing his people from the nefarious Rupture Farms.
I like how their lighting matches the lighting in my room right now for this YouTube stream. Like, it's just coming from like basically one direction.
The obstacles are more devious, and it's all made possible.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing. Look under your seats, everyone. You get a PlayStation 5 and you get a PlayStation 5.
I'm not letting that head guy get away from us again.
This looks intense. I could go for a sandwich right now. Soulstorm? But is it as hard as a Soulsborne game? It just punishes you over and over again until you learn the rules of the world. There's no way they don't show bug snacks, by the way.
Your friends are worried about you. They're here with me. Please come out. Gregory, I may have lost my temper earlier, but it was just a glitch. It won't happen again. It's been such a difficult day for all of us. Why don't you come out and we can play a game together?
What is this?
It won't happen again. It was just a glitch.
Gregory, be still. I think she's found us.
Ah! What was that? Oh, it's Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh my gosh. People were obsessed with that game years ago. Just like totally obsessed with it. But I never played it because I'm a big scaredy cat and I hate scary games. Oh my gosh. I know a bunch of people who are also going to forget about that game. Maiden in Black! Demon Souls! Yee! So the world might be mended. So the... There's Boletaria. I love this game. Oh yeah, this brings back memories. Shield up. Shield up. Go slow. Oh, it looks really good. There you go. Number one thing I learned in this game, never drop your shield. The ambiance in this game is amazing. I want to say I vaguely remember this place. Because I remember all the scaffolding. Oh, this person is making this look way too easy. Oh, yeah. He was doing so well, and then that's very Demon Souls. It's like, nope, you died. Go collect your souls. Yes, I remember that. I remember that boss fight with a big knight. Oh, that dragon. Oh, it looks so good. Yes, win, win, win. Win. No, give me a date. You can't tease me like that and be like, we'll let you know. What? That I know that. That sounds very Fortnite, and it is. I am so far behind. I have no idea what's going on in Fortnite anymore. Demon Souls session in Fortnite. Yeah, that'd be kind of amazing. A new PlayStation Plus benefit for PlayStation 5. All right, I see God of War. I see Bloodborne. I see Monster Hunter World. I see Final Fantasy 15. I see Fallout 4. Mortal Kombat 10. Okay, what is this? Is this like an update on PlayStation Now? Is this like a... What is this? I don't know.
My name is Cora.
My name is Connor.
A Battlefield. Maybe. Like one package. Sort of like the Ultimate Pass. Yeah. That makes sense. Just combine them.
After all, we've done.
Son of 5. Unless they're listing off all the things that can be backwards compatible for PlayStation 5. I feel like maybe that's where this is going. It's like backwards compatible. It could be that. Yeah, they do have to compete with Xbox Game Pass because that is a really, really good feature. Like that's very forward thinking of Microsoft. Okay. So you'll be able to access a bunch of PlayStation 4 games in your PlayStation 5, which I guess is cool. But I'm like, most of us will still have a PlayStation 4. We're not going to just chuck it out the window. So I usually keep my current gen console at least a year or two after a new console launch. So I don't know. I guess that's okay. It's not a bad thing. All right. What we got here? I don't know. We're showing off the PlayStation 5 console itself. The PlayStation Trapper Keeper, man. Totally. I remember Trapper Keepers. That was the big thing at the start of every school year. You got to go get your Trapper Keeper. Those things were awesome. Of course, I had like a bunch of Lisa Frank ones with all the like bright neon colors. Oh, November 12th, November 19th. Oh, there it is. That was the launch date. Whoa.
Thank you all for joining us today and for being part of this event.
And we got a price, didn't we?
It's your passion as fans of gaming that drives us to deliver a truly new generation of experiences.
Very cool. Did anyone screen cap that? I meant to. Okay. So 400 and 500. Thank you, Mick. I was so excited about the release date. I blinked on the price. All right, 400 and 500. So, yeah, that was a pretty common prediction. I knew the PlayStation 5 was probably going to be 500. I wouldn't have been surprised if it even went closer to 6, considering how some of these things are very sophisticated. But all right, hold on. We got one more things. Was this Elden Ring? No? Maybe it's got to be God of War. Those are runes. Oh yeah, that's very God of War. Ooh, Ragnarok. Well, okay. Ooh, 2021. Oh, that's way closer than I thought. I would have guessed 2022. Very nice. Very interesting. Very strong showing from Sony in terms of video games. I still not sure what launch games are coming out. I'm still confused about that. Like, what are the launch games? They said holiday for Spider-Man. It doesn't sound like it's going to be launched. They have to launch with something. They can't just launch with PlayStation 4 titles that you can download. Oh, wow. Fortnite and PS4 games at launch. Yeah, that's not as strong. That's not as strong as I was hoping for. Right? We didn't even get I didn't see a date for Demon's Souls. Like, okay, it's great that game exists. Also, what's going on? Is Devil May Cry 5 is a launch title? Yeah, I have to say, PlayStation has a stronger lineup, launch or near launch lineup than Xbox, which I feel so bad for people at Microsoft. I mean, everything was kind of riding on Halo, and then it got pushed back, which definitely sucks. But it looks like a bunch of these games are going to come out 2021, so we won't have to wait too long. Is that it? I don't know. It says 2020 Marvel, Sony. I guess that's it. It was supposed to be about 40 minutes long. So we'll see. I'm still waiting just in case there is but one more thing. I don't know what else it would be. And I suspect some of the Japanese RPGs that we were going to see normally will probably be seen at Tokyo Game Show. So if you're waiting for like Disgaea or Final Fantasy VII Part 2 or Remake Part 2, the naming convention is a little convoluted. Yeah, I'm going to move this window over here so I can actually see you guys. I'm going to turn off this light, though. It's a little bright in my eyes. Vita 2. So, you know, that's the thing, though, is that the Vita, you know, they abandoned the Vita so fast. I don't think they have the right to make another handheld until they figure out what they want to do. Plus, I really feel like Switch has that cornered right now because it's a great idea. You can dock your games. You can use them as handheld games. So here, I'll turn this light a little bit this way so it's not quite as... Oh, that's too bright. But sorry, it's just that one light was like really bright in my right eye. I wanted to fix it. So, year of COVID. No, absolutely. I feel like COVID really screwed everything up. And I feel so bad for game developers and everyone who is part of the distribution chain. And it's just really frustrating. It's nobody's fault in the gaming world. They're doing the best they can. And I would rather them take their time and just, actually, you know what? I have my sunglasses right here. Let me try something. Wait, I can turn these back on. You can actually see me. You can see me. Here I am. There. Now I look cool. Now I look totally cool. I'm super stylish now. Didn't expect that, did you? But also, I'm glad I brought these down because now I can actually have the lights on and not go blind in one eye. That would be bad. All right. Okay, so, wow, I have a lot to process. I guess we'll start at the top. So we had Final Fantasy 16, which was announced at the very beginning of the PlayStation 5 showcase. It's at the very most, I thought we would see like a logo, some concept art, some pre-alpha footage, maybe, but they look like they're pretty far along. It looks like it is in the tradition of Final Fantasy 15. So think that sort of quasi-modern, quasi-fantasy, quasi-futuristic look. In fact, I wasn't sure if I was looking at some sort of a spin-off of Final Fantasy 15 or not. And then at one point I thought, well, it doesn't quite seem that way. Maybe it has something to do with Final Fantasy 14. Maybe it's a totally new, huge bit of content. And then I was like, wait, this might be a new game. And sure enough, it is. It is a new game. And we saw Chocobo. And I like that they are focusing on summons because summons have always been one of my favorite parts of Final Fantasy. All my favorite characters are actually related to summoners. So going all the way back to Rydia. I mean, you could summon before Final Fantasy IV, but like that specific class that tells a story. So you've got like Rydia, you've got Dagger, you've got Yuna. Just that ability to wield that power, having a summoner, either job class or dedicated summoner, was always really cool. It made you feel very connected to that fantasy world, which I really, really liked. What did you guys think of Final Fantasy? I almost said 12 because I just said 12 2 seconds ago. What did you guys think of Final Fantasy 16? Does it look promising? Does it look too modern? What were you hoping? What were you hoping to see? And did you see that? Did you see what you wanted to see? So it looked like it looked sort of like, I guess, prophecy from back in the day. It just kind of looked that, although I feel like Project Athia, that new Square Enix title, I feel like that was probably what became Agnes's prophecy. Is Agnes prophecy or here? Hold on. Let's make sure that we get this right, because I remember being at Agnes philosophy. Well, I was wrong too. Agnes philosophy. I was at E3 that year when it was announced. It was wild. It kind of came out of nowhere. It came out at it broke at in the middle of the night or something. It was really weird. And I feel like that became Project Athia. But obviously they like that look. But you're right, it also has that same kind of look, right? Like it's a little more grounded, it's not quite as fantasy. I mean, we saw chocobos. I don't remember seeing any airships or anything, but definitely had that very Final Fantasy look. So that was pretty awesome. Yeah, I do like they're going towards a more medieval look. I think we all kind of missed that medieval / steampunk look from the first 6 games. That mix of medieval and sort of steampunk fantasy, which is really, really cool. So that was big. That was probably their big, like, bam, we're gonna hit the ground running for the showcase, which was really, really smart. A good way to sort of get people's attention. And then immediately after that, they showed Spider-Man, and that was really cool because we actually got to see gameplay, and the gameplay looked really smooth, really solid. The art direction looked fantastic. The music was super hype. Definitely good voice acting. I really like that as well. Frank is saying that, yeah, they used to have turn-based, and now they're getting more and more action-y, which is why at one point I was like, wow, it looks like they're almost going for a single-player third person point of view action RPG along the lines of, say, like Assassin's Creed, right? Like Assassin's Creed has that kind of thing where you have the one hero and then they go out. I didn't see any party members. I just saw Joshua, the main character, fighting, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but doesn't feel very Final Fantasy. So hoping that we'll get like more of a group. Now, will we be able to play as that group? Are they going to be like part of something AI? I don't know. I'm not sure where they're going with that. I'm not sure what their plans are, but it's interesting. We've seen games before in early development, and then they'll later go in a completely different direction. We saw that with Gods and Monsters. So Gods and Monsters looked like one thing, and now it ended up, because it got delayed, it actually ended up turning into something completely different. And now it's called Immortals Phoenix Rising. And Ubisoft seems happy enough with that direction. So we'll see what they do. It's still obviously kind of like at the beginning stage or whatever, but it did remind me very much of something between like Final Fantasy 14 and Final Fantasy 15. So that seems to be the aesthetic and the vibe that they're going for. But with Spider-Man, I was actually pretty excited about Spider-Man just because it looked really awesome. It looked like it's a lot smoother gameplay. And I mean, obviously the first Insomniac game was really good, but this game looks like it's been able to sort of build on that success and then take it to the next level, which I'm very excited about. Looks very stylish. Definitely looks like you can do some really cool combos in the game. And I just like the overall, just the visual design is really gorgeous. So I am very excited about that. It said holiday 2020, so that's doesn't sound like launch. It feels like they would have followed up the price and release date for PlayStation 5 with Miles if he were a proper launch game. So that was a little strange. But then, of course, we got to see other things. We got to see Resident Evil 8, which looked sufficiently creepy. And also we got to see, Deathloop was the one I want to talk about. So Deathloop, we actually got to see a little bit more of how that game operates and what it's about. And just the idea of like, it looks like the strategy is you have to eliminate people to prevent yourself from going back in a time loop and having to relive the same awful thing over and over again. So it's a little bit loopery, I guess. And but then this whole time you think you've figured everything out, and then you have one person who's dedicated just to hunting you down. And it's a really intriguing concept. And I'm actually looking forward to learning more about Deathloop because of that. Did you guys like Deathloop? Just the whole premise of it and just sort of like using all those powers to eliminate all those people. And it sounds like you have to always eliminate certain people in a certain way. So it feels like there's like some sort of strategy involved, or it ties into the narrative, which I think is pretty cool. It was definitely like a refreshing, interesting concept, right? Like, where can we take games from here? Like, how can we keep things fresh and interesting? And I feel like Deathloop is trying to do exactly that. Let's see. We also got to see somebody playing some Black Ops, which graphically looked good. Those games aren't really my cup of tea. So I don't have anything to particularly add to that conversation. Devil May Cry 5 did look pretty cool and wacky. Very, very Capcom-y, over the top, ridiculous nonsense that is very much a part of the Devil May Cry universe. That looked pretty cool. I didn't play the last game, so there's an opportunity to kind of jump back into that world. What else? There's a bunch of stuff. Don't care about Fortnite. I can play Fortnite anytime on my PlayStation 4 just fine. I mean, I was going to say I could play on almost anything, and then I was like, no, I can't play on Apple anymore. I cannot play on my iPhone. Where's my iPhone? Oh, I left it upstairs. Let's see. What else did we see that looked pretty interesting? Trying to think. Oh, we saw Oddworld, which definitely looked odd. It looked like kind of dark and intense, but at the same time, it had all those funny lines where it's like, I feel like a sandwich about now. I'm hungry. I didn't know what to make of that. Odd is a really good word for it. Now, we didn't see Ratchet and Clank. No Jack and Dexter. No Elden Ring. No Final Fantasy Remake Part 2. We didn't see any of that, but I'm still holding out hope that with Tokyo Game Show literally around the corner, we will be able to see some of those games. So my hope is that Elden Ring will be there. Final Fantasy Remake Part 2 will be there. What else? Trying to think. What else could we possibly see? Maybe an announcement about something like Disgaea, or I don't know. Maybe a surprise. Maybe like a Catherine 2, which would be interesting. Yeah, I've never played an Oddworld either. It always just looked too odd for me. Yes, and of course, God of War Ragnarok was like the big one more thing, which is exciting, right? Like, it's interesting because they say Ragnarok is coming, and I'm like, there's no way you don't spin this out into a trilogy. So I feel like I feel like they'll definitely have to drag this out into 3 games, but the idea of like building up towards Ragnarok, which makes total sense, a very climactic event of the, the Twilight of the Gods and everything, will be super, super interesting, especially considering like what we know about who, what is a kid's name? I can't think of it. It starts with an A, but who, Atreus, like who he really is going to be like a big part of that. Boy, yes, Boy. His name is Boy. That's all he did, Boy. Good enough, right? Good enough. I'm also wondering if there'll be any more references to Kratos' past, because it's so informed, like that so informs you of his motivations and who he became as a person. It'd be great to have like a remaster collection of like all the God of War games up until the new God of War games. So like 1, 2, 3, Ascension. I think it's called Ascension. And then of course the 2 awesome Ready at Dawn PlayStation portable games, which were they were so good. And I was very sad when Ready at Dawn went away, because I really, really liked their work on those games. So that would be cool, like a God of War remaster, like God of War, but in like 4K with like the bestest frame rates. It'd be really neat. Oh, that's right. There was a Harry Potter game. That game looks really, like visually, it looks really good. And if you're a big Harry Potter fan, having a big open world Harry Potter like universe game seems really cool. So there's definitely that. I can't remember though if we saw anything about any release dates though. Like we saw some cool trailers and some cool stuff that was teased, but I don't think we got any real solid release dates except for the console itself, which is good. I mean, some people were nervous that there wouldn't even be a price reveal and release date, but of course there had to be soon, right? Because Xbox has their stuff out, and their pricing and their payment plans and their launch date. I mean, it just seems like there was no reason not to finally go ahead and release that, unless again there was some distribution problem. It was hard to tell. Yeah, I don't remember any yeah, it's a good question. Is the launch game Spider-Man? Well, they said holiday 2020, which really doesn't say November, right? So the PlayStation 5 is going to come out on November 12th in US, Japan, Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, and South Korea, and then November 19th everywhere else, right? And then so the PlayStation 5 will either be $4.99 or $3.99. I assume $3.99 is a digital. Yeah, it's a digital edition, so the discless edition, which isn't too bad. It's not quite as consumer friendly as the Xbox Series S, but it's still not too terrible. And then the PlayStation 5, I figured it would be like $500. So there's nothing super surprising about that. The only thing I'm hoping is that it doesn't die after 2 years, right? Like I had to get a PlayStation 4 Pro 2 or 3 years into my original PlayStation 4 because the other one just kind of went kaput. So I'm kind of hoping these things have a little bit more, a longer lifespan, because that made me sad. Okay. So you remember that one game would be launched digitally, but can't remember which one. Maybe that was Spider-Man. I don't know. They have to have something at launch, right? Like they literally cannot just do PlayStation 4 games, right? And Fortnite. There has to be more. There definitely has to be more to this story, because that would make me sad otherwise. All right. And Final Fantasy 16. So this is interesting. I didn't catch this originally, but Final Fantasy 16 will also come out for PC, which is interesting. Very interesting. Definitely interesting. All right. I'm trying to go through and see. All right. We saw Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, which looked nightmare fuelish. Did any of these? So a lot of these are coming out 2021, which we saw. Oh, did they? Good call, Terrence. They ran the video on a PC. Although I thought it said one of them said it was captured on PlayStation 5, but maybe not. Maybe yeah. I'm wondering if we think we can go to Amazon and see if they accidentally put up any like pre-order stuff. So if I do Spider Miles Morales come up with a game, sometimes people by accident they put things up early because they pull the trigger too fast, so they hit the wrong button. No, it doesn't look like it. I was hoping we could cheat the system. I mean, like, it's a holiday 2020. It did not say, they did not say November 12th. PlayStation 5. Okay. I don't see PlayStation 5 up yet, so I don't know if you can pre-order that. Maybe it's on Sony's webpage. Let's look at Sony PlayStation webpage. Why are we doing this a stupid way? Why don't we just go to the source? So Insomniac posted on Twitter to launch title. Okay. I wonder if the reason they just said holiday 2020 then was because they knew they were going first, so they didn't want to give away the launch date for the PlayStation until the console itself was and price were announced later. Seems like a slightly convoluted way to do things, but all right, Insomniac, and I mean, they have to have it as a launch. All right. I don't see that on Insomniac's page though. So I see Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales is a next adventure in Marvel's Spider-Man universe. We'll reveal more about the standalone game at a future date. 30 minutes ago, did you catch the new Miles Morales PlayStation 5 demo? Watch it in 4K here. Well, I can't. I don't have a 4K screen. All right. But I believe you. It has to be. It has to be a launch date. Or it has to be a launch title. So pre-orders start tomorrow. Great. Excellent. That would explain why I couldn't find that on Amazon. Yeah. I too am like looking around. Looking on Twitter, like who's got the scoop? Because we had a lot of information thrown at us, which is pretty crazy. Were you guys overall satisfied, though, with the PlayStation Showcase? Was there anything you liked or didn't like that you want to give a shout out to? Anything at all? Any games that you didn't get to see or anything that you were surprised and happy to see? There was a ton of games shown, that's for sure. There's things that were obviously missing, but that's okay because, again, Tokyo Game Show is around the corner. So, okay. Oh, okay, so here's some more information about Final Fantasy 16. So somebody broke it down on GameSpot. So you play as a bodyguard to Joshua, the son of the Archduke of the region the game is set in. There seems to be some sort of blight taking hold of the land around you, bringing in all sorts of dangers. Combat was shown off with many nods to both Square Enix, to both Final Fantasy 15 and the more recent Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Yeah. Let's see. And then they actually shared some more details on a PlayStation blog post. The game's being directed by Hiroshi Takai, who previously worked on Romancing Saga and The Last Remnant. You know, I was gonna say it had like a almost like a Last Odyssey or Last Remnant kind of vibe at one point. I think that kind of flitted through my head. And then Final Fantasy 14 director Naoki Yoshida will serve as 16's producer. So great. No Nomura. No offense, Nomura, but I go ruin Kingdom Hearts. Go very convoluted and full of buttons and zippers and belts. That's fine. Yeah. So you guys liked it better than the Xbox showcase? Yeah, they didn't mention the pre-orders in the conference, so I'm glad that you brought it to my attention that Jeff Keighley actually tweeted about it, because it felt like I feel like we're like the showcase was like missing like tiny details that would have been helpful, like maybe Demon Souls, there's a release date out there for it, and it just wasn't in the showcase. Like now I'm just kind of scrambling to figure out what's what, because it sucks. The one thing that sucks about no longer working at IGN is they don't have those inside scoops anymore. So I can't just wander over to the news team and be like, hey, what's going on with this game? What's happening? Definitely missed that part of the job. All right, so no release date. The footage was running on PC, not a PS5, but it is slated to release in 2021. So that's something that surprises me, is they're way further along than I thought. And I'm kind of glad they decided not to announce this game too early, because remember what happened with Final Fantasy 15, which used to be 13 Verses and was first revealed back in, oh my God, was it like 2006, 2007? It was literally like a 10-year gap between Final Fantasy 13 Verses and then Final Fantasy 15, which was absolutely nuts. I mean, it was crazy. So I will believe them. Although I wouldn't, depending what goes on with the COVID virus, I don't know if it'll get pushed back again, which is okay. We want this game to be as awesome as possible. But yes, lots to think about. Lots to think about. Yeah, it was a crazy long gap. Yeah. Hyde, you're right. God of War is happening next year too. That's another one where they're like hiding these things. It's like I did not expect any of these games to come out 2021. And to be perfectly honest, there's still part of me that wants to do this. Like, arms crossed. I don't believe you. There's no way. How can that be possible? But I just think it's super exciting. I think 2021 will shape up to be a pretty darn strong year when it comes to, because I know Demon Souls by then will be out. The remaster for that will be out. Ratchet and Clank will probably be out. Yeah, I think it'll definitely be. Yeah, I agree. Nomura, fantastic character designer, just not a great story writer. Exactly. Although I'm sure they're doing some other Kingdom Hearts thing besides the music rhythm game, which is pretty cool. Yeah, production woes at Square Enix. I mean, I remember when a new Final Fantasy game used to come out literally every year. Like Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, a year apart. And the jump, just the leap in graphics and design was just utterly astounding. Like I remember being blown away the first time I saw the cover art for Final Fantasy 8, because it took all that blockiness of Final Fantasy 7, which was pretty mind-blowing in its time, and just made everyone look like people, like actual people. Now in the game, everything's like really grainy and hard to see because of the original PlayStation's limitations, but it was super impressive. Like it was super impressive. The cutscenes were really great. So that used to be like year after year after year, where you had like only like 1 to 2 or 3 years interval, and then starting with Final Fantasy 13, it just all like kind of fell apart. Like I feel like they bit off more than they can chew, because they had 13 Verses. What was it? It turned into, half of it turned into a mobile game, and then half of it turned into Type 0. Final Fantasy 13. What was it? What was it called? It started with an A. It was that card game. It was supposed to be that online card game that they had. Good. A good overall showcase. They had a really strong showing of games. I just have to sort of untangle like what we know for sure about launch dates for these games, because we don't really, it's a little bit muddled. It doesn't seem like anything is completely solid. But obviously it's got to be something pretty strong. And then of course I'm looking forward to 2021 with all of those exciting games. And I definitely want to know what we're going to see at Tokyo Game Show to sort of round out the PlayStation 5 like what we can expect to see for PlayStation 5, because Sony is a Japanese company, and I think that they'll save a lot of their like all the JRPGs and stuff that I love. I think they'll definitely save for Tokyo Game Show. So I'm expecting Final Fantasy VII 2 or Remake Part 2. It'd be cool if we got something like Disgaea 5, or like more Valkyria Chronicles or Valkyria Profile, or I cannot pronounce the names of those games, by the way. It would be really cool to see something like that. Persona 6 tease, nah. I will make this prediction. They're not going to do that for a while. I tell you, Atlas is going to squeeze every drop of blood out of Persona 5 they possibly can. They're going to keep doing that. And I hope that they learned a lesson, that they teased Persona 5 years before it actually came out. Like, I remember that because I remember there was a logo with like 4 or 5 chairs, and then there were these ball and chains attached to the chairs. And so that was the tease way back when. And it was supposed to come out, I want to say like 2013, and we didn't hear about it anymore. Plus, they're working on Shin Megami Tensei 5 and Shin Megami Tensei 3 Remaster. So those probably have to get out the door first. I don't think they want to cannibalize their own stuff. It would be nice, though. It would be nice. I have a very I wouldn't say hate relationship, but of like a slightly frustrating relationship with Persona 5, where I put 101 hours into it, and I loved certain parts of it, but there are other things that were frustrating for me. That would be a totally different video in and of itself. So, ooh, Namco, yes. Definitely we'll get Tales of Game, see the new Tales of Game. Yes, that would be really interesting. I would like that a lot. That'd be fun. Persona, I would love a Persona, like, I would like a port of P3P because of the female protagonist. I actually really like Persona 3 already. It's like that and Persona 4, like my 2 favorite Persona games. But I really liked Persona 3 from a female protagonist point of view because certain story elements just clicked better. And I actually liked a lot of the social links better that way. So it'd be great to have that choice and have like Persona 3 PSP. Even though the graphics aren't as good, obviously, as like Persona 3 FES, but at least maybe put in the female protagonist for like a complete edition of Persona 3. So we get all the best of the best in one game. That would be great. Oh yeah, the Persona 4 Golden port on Steam is fantastic. I really enjoy it. Okay, guys, I think that that's a wrap for this particular stream. I am excited because it actually worked. I didn't know if this would actually connect because I've never actually live streamed on YouTube before. I usually Twitch stream these things. So I want to give YouTube a chance. So I'm actually glad that I did this, and I actually think it went pretty well. I'm sorry I couldn't do like a picture-in-picture so you can actually see the conference in a box. Don't quite know how to do those things yet, but I will figure it out. But at any rate, if you liked this, do remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Meg Sullivan. Don't forget to support me on Patreon at Meghan, Meghan R. Sullivan. I could use the support so I can do this kind of thing full time. That's kind of my goal, is to make history and games a proper brand, and all the stuff I do with Rapid RPG and all that stuff. I would love to do that full time. So Patreon. And of course, follow me on Twitter at Meghan, MEGHAN_IGN. And I am on Instagram at Celtic_Queen_Meg. So I think that's all the housekeeping there. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, hit all the buttons. Just start doing this. Just do it. And also, you can reach out to me at my email account at Meghan, MEGNhistory@gmail.com if you have any other questions or concerns. Okay, guys, I will see you later. Thanks so much for joining me. This was super fun. Bye.